Hi, I'm Ann Yancey. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about some of the new punches that we've gotten. Inside the Occasions Mini Catalog, we got some cute corner and straight edge punches, and I wanted to show you all how to use those because there's some specific steps that you need to take to be successful in making them, and so let me show you how that works. So what I've got right here is I've got nestled using the scallop trim. We've got the scallop trim corner punch, and then there's a straight edge for the scallop trim. And these two new punches work beautifully together to create a border in just about any size that you'd like. But there are some limitations and some specific steps that you need to take in order to use these. And I want to demonstrate to you how to do that. So let me move this aside, and let me just cover this with you. The first thing that you're going to do is there are specific dimensions and measurements that you're going to need to use in order to have this punch out just the way you want it. And you'll be able to find those specific dimensions on my website. But what you're going to do to begin with is you're going to punch all four corners. You want to make sure that your paper is really in there tight. You've got two shallow fences here on the side, and you want to make sure that it's really in the corner and it can't wiggle at all, and that you've got it definitely in the corner. So once you've got the paper in there nicely, then you're going to punch. Okay? And you're going to do this on all four corners. Okay, so we've got all four corners done. The next step that you're going to do is you're going to take this straight edge punch. And you're going to notice that you've got a little corner on either sides here. We're going to use that, and we're going to take our corner that we've punched and we're going to line it up so that it sits right there on top, perfectly on top of the silver printed corner that's on the punch. So we want it to sit right on top of there like that. And then over on this side, we want to make sure that this straight edge is pushed up inside, right up against the back fencing that's along the back here. So when we pull it over, it's flat up against the back side. You can see that it doesn't sit on there when I have it flat up in the punch. So what I want you to do is make sure it's flat up against there and then rotate it down just a hair to get it inside of there like that. Okay, let me put it down because this is the way you really should be doing it. Can you come on top of here and get this for me, Ellen? So I've got it lined up. It's pushed all the way back. And I'm pulling this down so that the paper is sitting right on top of the silver, holding it down on this side, and then I'm going to punch. Okay? That assures me that it's a perfect lineup. Now, I'm not going to go on and do this one. I'm going to go ahead and do all the other three other sides the same way I just came off of that corner, okay? Lining up here, matching it there. And you'll notice as I'm matched that it's not matching up on this side. I don't want you to worry about that. I want you to make sure that it's lined up here and that it's against the back fence in the very back. We're going to go ahead and do this side. Push it all the way in so it's up against the back wall. Pull it down slightly to match it here. Push it in. And then we're going to do the same thing over here and get it this last side. So it's against the wall. We're going to pull it down right there and punch. Okay, so you end up with it like this. You've still got extra punches that you're going to do here. Here's the secret that I've learned with this. On this last punch that's going to bridge you from here over to here is that you're going to want to punch this last hump right here, but you're not going to want to re-punch this. We're going to need to line up 3 along here, and we're just going to punch this one. And what I'm going to use as my guide now is not the front of the punch, but I'm going to use the back of the punch. You only have 4 arches here to line up with, and I always recommend you use at least 2 of the arches, no less, for your alignment. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to pull it down. So right now it's aligned with 1, 2, well, this would be 2, 3, 4. I don't want it that way. I want the end arch to be right there. So I'm going to come in like this, and you can see my end arch. Can you get a good picture of that, Ellen? Okay, so it's right in there. That last little bit we need to do that you see right here is right on that last one. The other 3 are actually hidden. You can see the paper if I move it like this. Okay, but we just want to line up perfectly with those 3 previously punched arches and leave the last one for right there. We punch it and it works out perfectly and it lines up here. Okay, so this is the secret to doing this. You want to get your corner, get your first run, and then as you come to do any remaining run that you have, depending on the size of your cardstock that you started with, the important thing is that you don't want to over punch again. You don't want to line it up with 2 arches here and 1 arch there. We don't want to do that. You just want to take it all the way to the end here, line up with those 3 punches, those 3 arches, and then this last arch is going to punch right here. And if you'll do it that way, it's going to work out for you perfectly every time. And the only guide that you have here is you got to get that pink paper directly hidden behind those wire punches, the metal die where it's already punched. And you punch it and you go around all the sides and finish it up. If you'll follow this rule and line it up, it's going to work for you every time, okay? And it'll give you a clean finish. So let me tell you, let me just point out a little something here on this. Let me get this last one cut for you, okay? Now let me show you. What happens when you do it this way is that this little hump right here, and this one right here, and this one right here, and that one right there are actually the ones that kind of are that little nudge of adjustment as you punch this whole project. So you just want to make sure that you do it this way because it allows the arch to have just this little space of forgiveness as you come across and punch everything, but you're going to end up with your square being this way. Now this is always going to work if you work with the dimensions that I give you on my blog to specifically punch this. Now this is how you're going to use, this is the scallop trim punch, and this is how you're going to use it. You can create rectangles with this too. You just need to make sure that this particular square is 4 1/4. So you would just want to make sure that this dimension of your cardstock and this dimension are both numbers that have already been designated as good measurements to use, and then you can, you know, create whatever shape you want, a square or a rectangle. Okay, so you all should be able to do that now. I'll also have the instructions on my blog step by step so that you can see it as well. Isn't that pretty? So it makes it very easy to use.